G'day guys, welcome back to another video. We're going to do something a little bit different this time. I'm going to talk about my laser printer, talk about a particular one, why I like it, why I bought another one. I just bought another one of these printers. So on the side I do woodwork, printing, that sort of stuff. I like to make little things on the side for people. So we're going to talk about the NE or the NG or the Neje Master 2. It originates in Europe somewhere. I think it's in Croatia or something like that, but of course it's made in China. So I bought my first one 2.5 years ago. It's still going good. It's probably got nearly 1,000 hours on it, 1,000 hours of printing, and the laser seems to be still working fine. I don't do anything to it. It came out of the box. I just started using it. It's already set up. I've been making a couple of cheese boards and printing them out for some customers. Like I said, I just bought well, I didn't just buy it. I bought this about 3 months ago. It's still in the box. The only reason why I bought it was for the laser. Okay, I figured, well, if the laser's 7,000 pesos, $200, and the whole machine is only $300, why not just buy the whole machine? And I still haven't got it out of the box yet. It's still intact. So when the laser goes on that one, I'll just put in the new machine and then buy another laser for the other one. I've got a 20 watt laser in that one. This is a 20 watt as well. If it goes that one, well then I might go up to a 40. I don't have the capability of cutting too much material, only really light stuff. Not that I do any cutting or anything like that. So I just put that aside. But anyway, it's high quality stuff. It comes protected. Really easy assembly. It's just a couple of bolts, put it all together, connect everything up. Good instructions. Everything's in English, even though it's a Chinese made product. For like $300. Unbelievable value. So I'll just get my camera. I'll just stick this down here. But I'll just put my camera so that you can see what I've been printing. So these are the sort of stuff that I know I'm shaking. Okay, so I've got 3 cheese boards here that I've just made. So I've just printed out a little cheese motif on there, and then put the family. And then I'll stain this or varnish it or something like that. But you can see here, this is the printer the old printer. So this is 2.5 years old now. So it's still going strong. I don't even clean it. So look, I haven't cleaned it since I bought it. I should really do that. It's pretty basic stuff. It's just a guide and 2 what do they call that, like a directional CV, like a CV joint kind of thing that pushes it both ways. It's got a little chip in here underneath. Okay, so she's on at the moment. Real basic stuff. Software is really basic to download on their website. You just go in there and download it and it's all done properly. Sorry about this. So yeah, and so I'll do a bit of printing in a bit just to show you guys what it's about. A couple of things with the printer, just make sure that you cover your eyes. I'm a Boilermaker, so I'm used to covering my eyes when I'm working. I'm just doing a clock. Been doing some clocks lately. This is a clock for a wedding that I've got coming up. But even though this smaller printer, this is a 170mm by 170mm, you can buy a bigger one. I've never had a need for it. You can get up to 400, I think 450, maybe 450 by 450, a big square one. So you could print that all in one go. Whereas I've been using this machine for enough where I can just move it around and make sure what's going on. But you can sort of see the effect that you can kind of get with the printer. It's quite good. I do all this wood stuff. I just get recycled wood and make stuff. I've got lots of clocks all over the place that I've made for home. But yeah, you can go from, you know, really delicate stuff like that. You know, you can actually read it if it focuses in. But yeah, like, you know, pictures and names and, you know. So it's a pretty handy thing. I'm also just working on a kitchen thing at the moment. So I just stained some thing and printed a bit of sushi and a pepper and a pig on there. So these will all go together. So this is shut up and eat, and soup, eat, kitchen, that sort of stuff. So if you can imagine, they'll all go together at some sort of time, or whatever I'll do with them. At the moment, like I said, I'm making some cheese boards, so I've got some cheese knives that I have to print out. So I can print anything. You can print really small stuff, or heavy, or I don't know, whatever the customer wants. So here we've got a collection of cheese knives. So we've got some cheese on one. Here's a name of someone. Okay, here's someone's actual signature that I just copied. So there's lots of things that you can do with the machine. Yeah, well, that's about all that I'm doing at the moment. But I've got like cheese boards, and then you can put whatever you want. So I make these things, and I can print. You know, you think of all the things you could do just with a plain board like that. You can turn it into a clock. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. You know, even just cutting boards, but put someone's name on it. I actually buy like cutting boards. I get them from China. They're only $1. Then I clean everything up, make sure that they're all clean. Maybe I can drill a hole in this one and make it look different, and just print whatever I want on it. What else have I got here? So this is just sitting in front of me. So here I've got like another big cheese boardy thing just sitting there. So, you know, I might put a motif or something around here. But then I can sell on, do little stuff. I sell lots and lots and lots of phone holders. Okay, so you just print the person's name there, or print their logo, or their company name, something like that. What else have I got up here? This one's another one that I'm working on, different colour for a kitchen. So the ideas that you can have are basically endless. So you can't see up here, but I've got a whole cabinet right in front of me with all the stuff that I need. And like I said, I can sit here and watch YouTube, watch a movie, and while I'm sitting here I can print out something. So let's get to it. Let's have a look at how the printer works, how you can set it up. I'll show you the software and basically how easy it is. There is a couple of things that you need to know about laser speed, laser intensity, and also a little bit about the laser. So I'll be right back. I'll set up the camera and we can have a look at this in action. So as you can see here, okay, so this is set up to do the cheese boards, but they're thick, so sometimes you need to print on something else, something that's thinner, maybe thicker. So you might want to do like a coaster or something like that. So the key to it is that the bottom of the laser here, okay, so the bottom of the actual foot of the laser, and whatever you're printing is the same. So this measurement here where the laser is already preset by the factory. You can actually turn this little thing here and you can dial it in so it's even finer. The finer that little dot is, if you can see that little dot, okay, the smaller that dot is, the better printing that you'll get. So the key is always to have the foot and whatever your workpiece is going to be the same. Apart from that, that's it. But I do, whenever I set something up, I do tape the machine down. There are holes here on the side. Because I work in my bedroom, I work because I have a full-time job, and this is something that I just do on the side. So if I'm printing something, it can take a long time. So I just set it up on my table in front of the TV, and then I can just print away, watch my movies, watch YouTube, create videos, whatever I want to do. So we're going to print a cheese knife. So first thing we want to do is set up the height of the laser to the cheese knives. So basically you just got to find something which is the same height. So let's get rid of our cheese boards. We'll put the laser down. I'm just going to varnish them up later. So I've got these, which are just some cutting boards that I've already bought. If we have a look at the cutting board and we look at the height, it's a little bit smaller, but I've got a couple of little pieces of MDF. If I put them together, you can see that. Okay, so they're almost the same. That's basically going to be the height. So then all I've got to do is put these two pieces of board down, make sure that it's all nice, try and get it square, and if I put my cheese board down there, my cheese knife, it will be at the same height. Now sometimes, like something like this, you know, if you're only doing a one-off or something like that, I just use credit cards, whatever's in my wallet, whatever I can find. So you might just need to put something underneath it just to keep it level like that. So look at my credit card. So if I put that down there like that, that's going to sit there pretty well the same way. Okay, but when you are doing it, your laser engraving, it's important that nothing moves. Okay, you can go a little bit higher like that. Wouldn't really make too much of a difference. When you're printing something like this, so this one's already varnished. Okay, I wouldn't clean it up. I just burn it in a little bit harder. But anyway, now we are set up. I will get back to it and we'll show you some of the software. Okay, so we're back. The laser is on. It's as hot as hell here in the Philippines. So, and I don't want to have the aircon on because I'm making a video. But like I said, I've just made this. Okay, so this is a cheese board. It's for the Manuel family. It's obviously a gift or something. So we try to make it as nice as possible so that it lasts. It's all made out of recycled wood that I buy on the street. Okay, I'm always looking for pieces of wood that I think will look nice when I varnish them up. This won't be varnished, of course, because it's a food product, so I'll just use mineral oil on this one. But anything else, like the clock or something, will be varnished. So these people have asked for the cheese knives just to have their initial of M, which is obviously for their family name. So this is where you, most people don't, they just say what they want, and then it's up to you to be a little bit artistic about it. I normally do a bit of a fancy thing if it's a personalized name, and if it's a girl or a boy, that sort of stuff. I like just this normal font. I think it's called West Side or something like that. It's just a really nice font when you're doing like a formal thing. So this would be something that I'd do for a wedding. And then, you know, if it was the actual name of the bride or something, well, then you've got to be a little bit more creative. Remember, you can put flowers and pictures and all sorts of stuff. A lot of people ask me, can you actually do pictures? You can. It's not as good. Like this is one of my daughter. You can see her. That's just a bit of a play around. They do come out alright, but it's not as, I don't like doing it. Some people do it. I don't like doing it. So anyway, so the finished product's going to be with the 4 cheese knives, and put it in a box and send it away and make some money. Right, so how do we use this and the computer? Okay, so it's a really simple process. Once you get your new laser printer, basically assemble it. Like I said, it takes about 15 minutes to assemble. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 bolts that you have to put in, and you are ready to go. It's got a USB, plug it in your computer, it comes up, load down the software, which takes about 20 seconds, and you will be opening up this, which is called the NGV5 6.5. So I keep updating my software. Lots of other programs that you can use. There's ink, black ink or something. There's a couple of other design ones. I don't have the need for that at the moment, but if your business is then, you know, you need to design a particular thing for a particular customer. I sell pretty generic stuff and just put a name on it, that sort of stuff. But there are programs that you can get that are linked to this. You have to change it a little bit into G codes and that sort of stuff. But basically, if I just click on my collection, I don't have anything in there at the moment. I've just upgraded my computer, but generally I've just put all my images onto a disk so that I've got them with all my customers' logos and stuff like that. But basically, you can just go on to any file. Let's go pictures, let's go Apple. Okay, if we want this one, we can just take that and stick it into here. We go load image. Oh, I do have them. Okay, so here's one that I did for a sushi board. Okay, so we can load this in, we can crop it, make sure that's the size that we want. We press OK. Now we can set the size. So let's say we want width of 50 mil. It will automatically set the height of the image for us. So if you're that's my tape measure. So if you're printing on a board like this, okay, let's say you've got a board like this and you want to print the samurai rider there, you just measure up what's your board, about 120 something, 140. Okay, and then you can adjust your size accordingly. So 140, let's say we want 130, it will automatically scale it for you. Now you're looking at the image that you've imported from your pictures. Okay, so it would be fantastic if it looked like that, but remember that's an image, it's done on white background, you're doing it on wood, so, or leather or whatever you're printing at the time. So you have to be have an understanding about what you're doing, about how the laser reacts to the different materials that you're printing. But that's trial and error. You fuck up a couple of times, but you'll get it right. And sometimes you'll go away and then you come back and there's a problem. So this an image like this would take about an hour to print, because the printer goes lineal, doesn't just color in like most people would think. But anyway, and now we get to a we press OK with that. We can get an outline. If we wanted to do something like that, we can change it. We can make it darker. Wouldn't go that. But I like these dot ones. These are nice. Okay, so you might just want like a shadow effect or something like that. But this is where the main stuff is. So again, it's artistic the way that you would like it, depending on what you're doing. I tend to get more white into it, because the darker you get, of course, you start losing the image. Again, what's the background? What are you printing on? That sort of stuff. So something like that. But you still see it. That looks good. Okay. So now we've set up our image that we want to print. We've set up the printer at the correct height, but I don't want to print that onto this. We've got to print a M. Okay, so that's an image, so let's just clear that away. Let's get rid of edit. Now you can see my last job is already in there, Karen. Okay, now here I've got it upside down because I can't be bothered to move the laser. I move the piece that I'm printing. So if I have to print a certain way, I'll just move the piece so I don't have to keep moving my laser all the time. So we need a M. So let's put in an M and let's insert it. There is our M. So this is the font that I just used, which is Woodside something Studio. So any font that you want, you just go onto the internet, download a free font, stick it in here, you're ready to go. Okay, most of the fonts in here are pretty nothing. Like I said, I've just updated this computer, so I've got rid of all my other fonts. So this one I like. Let's see what that one looks like. No, that's too much. So let's just stick with that M that we just had. So what was it called? Woodside or something. Okay, now, so over here we've got size. So this is important. So when we put the size in, and clear that away, put the size in, we've got 49 by 60. And I know by printing these that's too much. We need about a 19 by 90. So we have to change the font size. So let's put it down to 160, clear it away, and then see what the size is. 21 by 26. Getting pretty close, because if we go 26 this way and 21 that way, it's going to fit in quite well. Now you have to look at what the image is as well. Okay, so this is got a swirl, so the M is going to appear to be further to the right. So you want to tend, if you want the M to be here, you want the swirly part to be more here, so that the M looks more centered. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered, but it looks better if we do it that way. Now also when you press OK, it will maybe change the size. So if we press OK, it just changed from 22 to 14. So if we get our ruler, our tape measure, so we've got an M, 14. So we've got 22 mil that way. So we can put it this way if we wanted to. So if I want to put the M so it's on top, that will nearly fit in. So we might do that because that might look nicer. So, okay. So now I'll show you how to set everything up. So we press this one over here, the square, and now the laser will go and do a square exactly what's shown on the software. So I'll set up the camera again so that you guys can see this, and I will be back. Set up the laser. Okay, so you want that square to be hitting all the edges. Okay, so remember that the image that's inside the square is not going to be a square, it's going to be something else, but you want to sort of align everything. And as you can see, I'm just using the other ones just to keep everything square. Now, a little job like this, a really quick job, I wouldn't fix the laser down. But if it's a bigger job and it needs to sit there for an hour, well then I would definitely either fix the laser to the table, or I just generally use tape on one side, as long as it just stops the jankiness, because if the laser moves a little bit, everything's going to be out of whack. Now, if we go back to our software, so we're all set up with the laser. We've got what we want. It's in position. Now we've got to look at our laser power. Okay, I've always had my laser power at 100%. Okay, now this is the important thing. So if we go down to our burn time, how quickly the laser moves. Now something like this, I could probably get away with about a 4. But I want it to look good. So it's going through varnish, and it's quite a small image. So I really want it to burn into the wood. So I'm going to go up to a 5. Now, if you do something, sometimes wood has different grains, so it prints really well in one side, and then it gets to a new grain and it's not as good. Just don't touch it and press play again, and it will go over and it will reburn it again. You can't move where you want to burn, but if you just do it again, most times it will go all right. There's some things that I do that are heavily varnished. So I might buy something, or someone might give me an item and it's got 2 mil of varnish on it. You do have to get rid of it sometimes. You can really crank it up, but it gets like a crusty, varnishy finish, which I don't like. So I'll just sand it off, print it, and then re-varnish it again, and the people don't even know. All right, so let's start this baby up. So we just want to press the play button here, and then the laser will start printing. I'll set up the camera so that you can see what's happening. And then remember that we're doing the same logo for all of these things, for these 4. So once we've set up, all we're doing is putting our new material on, making sure it's right, press the square, go to our edge, and then print it again. So these machines are great if you're doing like hundreds of something. I've done hundreds of phone holders that all have the same logo on them, company logo. So you can set the machine up. I used to set up like square blocks, stick in the thing, press play, come back in 10 minutes. Pull one out, put another one in, press play, come back. And you know, when you do hundreds of something, it can take maybe 2 days to print, but everything is exactly the same. Everything's already set up. So that just depends on what you're printing. So let's get the camera back down, and make sure that you wear your glasses so that you don't get your eyes. Where you press play, it will go through what it wants. You can see already whether it's working or not. Hopefully we should be fine. Doesn't look to be enough. Not as dark as what I would like it to be already, just looking at it. So I will go back over this when it's finished, and then I'll put up the burn time to maybe 6 or 7. But then again, it's starting to come out all right. So I'll have a quick look at that, and I don't like that because it has missed a little bit. So I'm just going to do it again. But now I know I just need to ramp up the laser a bit. So I'm happy with that. There's our M. Let's do the other side. So what we want to do is to do the square again. Make sure that we're flat. So we get our square on our edge, like so. And let's move this up to 7, and we should get a good burn now, and we're set up. So there we go, guys. So everything has been finished. So we've printed our cheese knives, and they will go with the cheese boards as a set. So everything has been personalised. I'll try and get everything together if I can. So you can see what sort of product you can end up with. And that will all be boxed up and then ribboned and sent away as a gift to someone. Just as a quick note, how much kind of money you can make. So here I buy this board. So this is pallet wood, I would assume. Pretty hard to find this size. This is 4" or 180mm. I speak in millimeters. So 8 foot of this cost me about $5 US. So 8 foot will give me 8 boards. So 8 boards, and there's not too much to it. Just cut them to size, put a bevel on it, sand them down, clean them up, then print them. So I think we sold this for about $15, just the board. And then if we add in this, it's about $30, something like that. And these cost $2 per set. So then add on the box and a bit of ribbon and that sort of stuff. You're making about $20 just sitting here doing nothing, basically. And so I've made hundreds of these boards. I have upstairs in my workshop, I've got so many of them sitting up there ready to go. So all I've got to do is, when I'm finished work, or I'm sitting here watching the football, or I'm having a beer or something like that, all I do, go out and grab a couple of boards and print them out. And it doesn't even affect, I get my kids to do it sometimes. If I'm out, I just call them and say, can you print up 2 cheese boards or 3 cheese boards? Same thing, once you're all set up and you've got your designs and stuff, you can just really just pump them out. The idea with the second one, I was going to set it up in another room. Actually, I was going to set up a whole new table and put both lasers there with 2 laptops. So, and you can use this thing off your phone if you need to. Okay, it's not something that's you can print it when you're at work. As long as it's set up and you're ready to go, you can go on your phone and just send it through. It works on like on the Bluetooth or something like that as well. So yeah, that was the big plan, is that I'll set both of them up, and then when you've got a bigger job where the printing is an hour, once you set up, press play, print, and then set up something else, press print, instead of doing one job in 1 hour. So something like the clock that I showed you earlier. Okay, so there's about 2 hours of printing in there, maybe more. Okay, so but when this is finished and I put the clock in there and everything, this is about $100 maybe. I'll get 100. This is for a family member, so this is a gift. But yeah, but you can see sometimes when I set the grain, it doesn't work. too much, but when you varnish it, it darkens up again, so it'll look fine. It'll look like it's a part of what it's supposed to do. But I just love the sort of things you can do with this printer. That, you know, just that border effect, it's really nice, and the names come out really good. I make a circled clock out of big pieces of wood, and I just put it to beer time at 5 o'clock. That's a big seller. But yeah, lots of different things that you can do with the printer. You can make money. This printer has paid for itself over and over and over and over again, and I haven't really done anything with it, but both my wife and I are busy with other things. This is just a little hobby of mine. You can do leather. I've done key rings, I've done wallets. Okay, you wouldn't do a black wallet, of course, but you could do a different colour. If you do leather, it's better if you do it before that it's been tanned. So if you get raw leather, that really works out well. Yeah, apart from that, you can buy glass paint as well. You can do etching with the machine. There's also like a rotation machine that you can buy if you set it up, and you can actually do rounded things as well. But yeah, there's a special paint. It's just too expensive for me. Like I've got glasses and crystals and stuff that I put in my boxes. It's just the paint's too expensive at the moment. But I have heard if you just use black nail polish, it works just as good. I've never done it. I've never been asked to do it. But if I ever, every time I get asked to do glass, I say to the person, okay, but you've got to buy the paint, and then they say no. But apart from that, yeah, I'll keep cracking on with these other cheese boards and cheese knives. Hope this helps. Hope you give it a little bit of understanding about laser machines and how they work. And if you're looking to buy one, what sort of products you can make, what you can do with them, and more importantly, how much money you can make. So thanks guys, please like and subscribe, and hopefully the video turns out well. See ya.